First off, tell us your name and what you're running for.
Sure. My name is Christian Coomer. I'm running for State House of Representatives, District 14.
Why? What made you decide this is the year 2010 I'm going to run for State House?
Well, I'll tell you the truth, it wasn't an office that I had thought about running for before. And the week of qualifying, when I found out that the office was becoming vacant because of Preston Smith running for Attorney General and then Barry Loudermilk running for Preston's open seat, when I got a call about it, my initial response was, thanks for the call. I'm honored that somebody would call and ask me to run for this seat, but it just wasn't anything I was ready to do yet. That was on Monday, and after a few more calls later in the week and some prayer and some real time talking to my wife about it, we decided that it was the right time, the right thing to do. I was looking for an opportunity to help advance conservative causes and ideas, and I've always been active at the local level in my local Republican politics, local party, and volunteering for other campaigns and candidates. And it looked like the right opportunity at the right time had come along. So we jumped right in the race and have been running solid ever since. Of course, we finished the primary on July 20th in first place by a very slim margin, but still came in first. We won really big in Floyd County, and really proud of that. I think that's because most of the voters recognize that I'm going to be a voice for Floyd County in the 14th district.
A lot of hot button issues going on. Give me two top of your mind that makes you different from your opponent, Shep Hilton.
Sure. Well, one issue that's come around the news a lot lately, because it's a question a lot of people ask about, is tort reform. Many people probably know that in Georgia, the Supreme Court knocked down, ruled unconstitutional, part of our tort reform law that had provided for caps on pain and suffering damages in medical malpractice cases. The Supreme Court has now left us without any kind of caps on those sort of damages. And we know, especially in the 14th District, where we have so many people employed in the medical industry, medical development, medical care, that making sure that we can limit risks in the medical industry is imperative to our economy. And I have come out very clearly and said that I will support sending a constitutional amendment referendum to the people to decide whether or not they want to have caps on pain and suffering damages. My opponent has come out very clearly against that proposition. I think it's something that the voters and the people in the state of Georgia are intelligent enough to figure out and do what they think is right for our community and for our state. And so I say let the voters have that voice.
And the second?
The second one is probably going to be, it's a real mix, but it starts with jobs. I know that we have got to get people back to work in Northwest Georgia. And one way that I propose to do that is supporting the elimination of the Georgia state income tax. It puts more of your money back in your pocket, and it allows you to spend that money the way you see fit. It may allow you to invest in a new business, or it may allow you to just buy a new car, a new boat, or make some payments. But either way, it's your ability to spend money, to reinvest money, that actually gets the economy growing, not sending more money to the government where it just stops and dies growing. Included in jobs is making sure we have a good, solid education system, supporting education innovation that produces results with less expense. And a big one that has to do with jobs is immigration. We have more illegal immigrants in the state of Georgia than the state of Arizona has. And we need to have comprehensive illegal immigration laws on the books. We need to pass that in Georgia. That's why I say I'm pro-Arizona, because I think we need to have those kinds of laws on the books in Georgia, and I'll work to make that happen. We have a $1.6 billion hole in our budget created by services and spending for the illegal alien issue in Georgia. We need to do something to correct that. That's going to help our economy.
You mentioned doing away with the Georgia state income tax. How would you pay for state-mandated programs and whatnot?
Well, the good thing about eliminating an income tax is it puts more money back in the taxpayer's pocket. What we understand as conservatives is that when people have more of their own money, it actually generates more revenue for the system. Somebody asked me, do you have to increase property taxes in order to pay for a cut in the income tax? The answer is no, you do not. In fact, when you eliminate the income tax, you do make up for it in most cases. Most states that have done this have made up for it by increasing sales tax by 1%. We can do that in Georgia. And the good thing about that is it will tax everybody equally across the board. There's no loophole. There's no determination if you are of legal status. Everybody's going to pay the same rate, and it's going to be a voluntary tax because you spend money on the things you buy and you pay tax as you go. 9 states now have no income tax. Those states have outgrown those income tax having states. That's not a good way to say it. The states that have no income tax have outgrown the states that have income tax by more than 20% on average from 1998 to 2008. And Georgia certainly had growth in that time, but it was slower than states of comparable size that have no income tax.
You mentioned your position is in charge of both Bartow and Floyd counties. Tell me a little bit about yourself, your stances toward Bartow and Floyd County, and how that differs from your opponent.
Well, I'm a real 14th District guy. My family, my extended family live in this district. My parents, my wife's grandmother, all the way down to our kids, all live in and around the 14th District. We go to church in Adairsville. We have a family farm in Kingston. My parents have a farm in Kingston. I don't have a farm in Kingston. And our son went to Unity Christian School here in Floyd County. We go to the doctor here in Rome. We have a lot of connections here in Floyd and the 14th District. Our loyalties really lie to the 14th District. So I think that's the real distinction you'll see in the way I'll serve in the State House and the way that my opponent would serve in the State House.
And finally, 1 minute or less, why should folks in the 14th District vote Christian Coomer in the runoff?
Sure. Well, I am a true conservative. I'm a pro-life military veteran. I'm pro-Second Amendment. I have the endorsement of GeorgiaCarry.org. I'm pro-family. I have the endorsement of Glenn Beck's 912 Project. And I'm pro-Arizona-style immigration law. You've already heard me say it, for eliminating the Georgia state income tax. And I'm also pro-10th Amendment. I believe we should use the 10th Amendment to the Constitution to protect Georgians from Obamacare, cap and trade, and all the other legislative garbage coming out of Washington, D.C. these days. I'll say it again, I'm a true conservative. I know what I'm talking about when I say I want to promote conservative agenda issues, and I will be a true voice to represent Floyd County in the State House if you vote for me August 10th. Thanks very much.